You're really hurting us by changing the codes on us midstream to RM1. RM1 is going to allow 10 units to be built. It moves the front offset to 10 feet from the street. Currently it's 25 feet. It raises the elevation of the house to 40 feet. So you're talking about all of us living next to these mass apartment units that are in a neighborhood. And I just got to say I'm a little disappointed that you would come here and say, what was the question?
I'm sorry.
What was the question you asked? Did you ask if it was actually 10 or 6?
Yeah, and I'll talk about the 10 in just a second.
Yeah, so we do read your code. We don't just put fake news on our listservs. It's actually pretty educated on there if you read it. It's 6 units, but if you, and this is a question to you, I believe if you have one low-income unit on your property, you can upscale that to 10 units. There's no parking restrictions, off-street parking required. So 10 cars now, if you assume 1 car per place, that's unlikely. It's going to be 2 cars per unit. So you're looking at anywhere from 10 to 20 cars per unit. That's insane. You don't have the infrastructure to deal with that. Table 23, 3D, 3040. This isn't just something that we invented. It says if you have a offset of 10 feet, minimum % of front yard required to be planted in landscape, not applicable. Large and medium trees required, not applicable. Small trees required, front yard landscaping, not applicable. How are you going to deal with that?
So I'm going to ask you guys to speak to most of the specifics with respect to the zoning category. But the question that I asked, because I heard, was that were we zoning all of the lots in a way that would end up with 10 units on the lot because the zoning classification allowed for 10 units. And as we looked at the individual lots, most of the lots that were zoned that way would never have 10 units on them.
How do you guarantee that?
Well, because by the development restrictions, because of the size of the lot itself.
So 6,000 feet, 6,000 square feet allows you to have 10?
I don't, but the zoning allows for that, but as a practical matter, what could actually...
How do you regulate a practical matter if
you're only allowed a certain amount of impervious cover on a lot and you only have a certain amount of land
60% impervious cover?
Whatever, I don't know.
Yeah, that's the number.
We call those folks up.
So you're increasing the impervious cover from 45 to 60%? And you're doing this in Waller Creek, by the way.
Hi, Greg Dutton, Planning and Zoning. So you are correct. It's 60% in RM. We're talking about RM.
And you're doing RM1 from the university all the way up to 56.
Yeah. So why did you do that?
So
why did you do that?
So you are absolutely correct. The change in impervious cover is 45% to 60% under the proposed
in the Waller
zoning.
Creek drainage.
And it was changed because when we did testing of the zones to figure out if they were feasible to accommodate all those units, the result was, as you might imagine, it's more feasible if you have additional impervious cover for those lots. It's a practical effect of having more FAR and additional units.